Ray, follow me. I'll show you where to go. I'll get us out of the bind like I always do.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, but if it wasn't for me, we wouldn't see this fun stuff.
Yeah, but I think it's right over here.
Yeah, it's right down here. I promise. Oh, he passes it.
Oh, he goes. Ray.
No, it's right around here, I promise.
He did it again. It's right there, Ray. There it is.
Get ready to play Adventure Crusoe, the internet interactive television program that you can play from home.
Today, we're going to take you to an exciting and beautiful place that tests your knowledge of the world we live in.
Throughout the show, we'll give you clues that'll help you figure out where we might be.
You have to watch carefully, you have to listen carefully to see if you can guess where we are.
Now this is where the show gets fun. If at any time you think you know the location of our mystery destination, log on to olntv.com to see if you're right and learn even more about this amazing place.
So come along
As we explore the four corners of the globe in search of places unknown on Adventure Crusoe.
In a world where the imprint of human activity seems to be everywhere, there are still some places where nature reigns supreme.
This mystery location is one of those places, a wild, rugged land of fire and ice, a place that reminds us what the world must have been like before there were people.
In an area of nearly 40,000 square miles, it has a population of less than 300,000 people, almost all of them living along the coast.
The vast interior is virtually uninhabited and largely inaccessible.
Just how well do you know your world? Hi, I'm Ray Browning.
And I'm Darian Boyle.
Today we're in a very special mystery location, a place where just getting around is a big part of the adventure. Join us as we discover the forces of nature and the earth exposed, which is the very essence of this place.
Along the way, we'll give you clues that will help you figure out just where we are, the clues you'll need to play the Adventure Crusoe game.
We got a lot of ground to cover and it's going to be tough going, so let's get started.
We start our expedition on the water, quietly sailing out of the harbor on the Hakor, a turn-of-the-century wooden fishing sloop. It's approaching midnight local time as Captain Herder heads the graceful ship into the open bay.
This land has a 2,000-year connection with the sea that surrounds it, and boats like this are a testament to the resourcefulness and craftsmanship of that seafaring culture. But we're not here to admire ships. We're here to admire whales.
Right there, look, right there. See it? Left side.
It's huge!
Ah! Oh, we're under. Few places on Earth offer as many opportunities to witness these mammoths of the deep firsthand.
There's one right there, two whales. See him?
When you see these graceful creatures up close, you can't help but feel awe and respect for the largest animals to have ever lived on our planet.
We have many species. We have counted up to 11 species here on the bay.
First Mate Geesley has been watching whales in this bay all her life.
First of all, it's the minke whale. We see the minke whale the most here, and the humpback. We see the humpback quite a lot. We also had blue whales in here. We had 2 blue whales last summer for 2 days. Killer whales, they sometimes come in and they maybe stay for 1 or 2 days or so, and then they leave. This bay is not deep enough for them.
Spending the day on the water, watching the whales rise from the deep, we get a peek into the world below. From the surface looking out onto this mystical land, I can only guess what other wonders would be revealed to us on the journey ahead.
How well do you know your world? You can find out more about this mystery location by signing on to olntv.com. Stay tuned. Adventure Crusoe will be right back. Our expedition continues on Adventure Crusoe.
One of the greatest challenges this expedition faces is just getting from one place to the next. For centuries, a trip to the outer islands was a perilous voyage across dangerous waters with unforgiving weather. We have hopped a short flight to our next stop, a small island that is only 2 miles long and 1 mile wide that sits on the Arctic Circle.
From our approach, the island reveals a remote and treeless landscape. There is a small but hardy population that makes its living from the ocean.
But there is a large population here too. On the towering cliffs rising from the sea live millions of birds.
Ray, it's a very isolated place here. What do you think the people do here?
Well, you know, it's the same thing as the birds. They're here for one thing, that's fish. It's a very, very healthy, productive ocean here, and it keeps the people here, keeps the birds here. Look at all the birds.
There's spectacular amounts of birds here. 36 types of birds nest on this island alone, 11 of them being seabirds. Now if you look around, you see the cute little ones that look like penguins. Well, those are puffin, and there's over 10 million birds here. And if you look around, this is like an amazing place for nesting because they come and they burrow down and they dig their nest and they lay one egg, and every year they come back to the same spot.
Huh.
Yeah.
So lots of birds, which means they're here because they have lots of food, lots of life, great conditions.
Yeah.
Amazing.
While travel by sea has always been treacherous, travel by land has always been horse-powered. The local horses are a pure breed brought here in the 9th century. No other horses have been introduced to this island since then.
Small, sure-footed, and muscular, these intelligent horses are perfectly adapted to this harsh terrain. But what really distinguishes them is their 5 different gaits. Colt, the 5th gait, kind of like horse overdrive, enables them to cover long distances very efficiently. We've arrived during an insect hatch, and the midges and black flies are unbelievably thick. Fortunately, they don't seem to bother these mild-mannered horses. Oh, they're driving me nuts.
Our sturdy steeds are taking us into the volcanic interior, past still active volcanoes and across lava fields formed as recently as the 1980s.
These look like craters here.
Yeah, we call them Garvikigar.
Garvigira. What does that mean in English?
Pseudo-craters.
Pseudo-crater, right, okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's gas that explodes from underneath the ground.
Right, from trapped water, right? Turns into steam.
It's very unique for this area.
A very unique place indeed.
Have you figured out where we are? If you think you know, log on to olntv.com and play the Adventure Crusoe game.
It's first light, about 4 a.m., and we are taking a super 4-wheel drive to look for the source of abundant fresh water. More than 10% of the land is covered by ice, melting ice. The meltwater feeds streams. The streams become rivers. The swollen rivers combine with the rugged volcanic terrain to create more than 10,000 waterfalls.
We often connect some of our most beautiful natural landscapes with spiritual places, and this waterfall is no exception. About 1,000 years ago, one of the leaders here had a very difficult decision to make, which religion his people would follow. Once he'd made his choice, he took the statues of the gods of the religion they'd no longer follow and put them here, thus giving this waterfall the name Godafos, or Waterfall of the Gods, a perfect name for a very special place. Small clue here, black sand from volcanic land, but I've got a much bigger clue to show you. That is a big waterfall. You know, in fact, it's the most powerful waterfall in Europe, and it's also fed by the largest glacier in Europe.
Ray, you just gave away the humongous clue.
No, I didn't say it could have been the European plate instead of the European continent.
I don't know. I think that was a little big.
I wanted to win.
How well do you know your world? If you think you know our mystery destination, sign on to olntv.com and see if you're right. You're on the path of discovery with Adventure Crusoe.
Nature couldn't have painted a prettier picture. The canvas is alive with glaciers, waterfalls, tons of birds, whales. It's a true masterpiece. We usually ask our Adventure Crusoe viewers to figure out what country or region we are exploring. Maybe the question here should be, what planet are we on? Right now, I'm in a high temperature area. You can hear mud bubbling. 2 miles down beneath the Earth's surface lies an enormous pool of superheated magma. This magma fuels the volcanic eruptions that have shaped this landscape. It also causes groundwater to boil, erupting at the surface in these bizarre boiling puddles or mud pots. And you can actually smell an intense sulfur smell. The escaping gas comes from molten sulfur and has a distinct rotten egg odor. The intensity of the smell can be suffocating, and it indicates how close we are to the molten rock and swirling gases that rise from the Earth's core. And everywhere around me, there are hot pots. These sunken vents are discharging superheated steam. At temperatures well over 200 degrees, the steam is hot enough to scald, but it also hints at the geothermal potential this landscape offers. Walking across this desolate terrain, you can't help but wonder how people here have harnessed such seemingly inhospitable natural conditions. I think you'll be surprised. Ray, what an amazing discovery. I mean, right here we're swimming in nature's bathtub that's like 85 degrees.
Nice, huh? You know, it shows you how long this culture has actually been using what nature's provided here in the way of geothermal energy. There is lots of hot water. They use it for recreation, swimming pools like this. This one's been here 80 years or so. They use it for hot water in their houses, and they use it as energy. So really, really in harmony with nature here. It's great.
What nation wouldn't want an endless supply of inexpensive, pollution-free power? An energy source so pure and simple, it not only provides power, but its primary byproduct appears to have magical qualities. People travel from around the world to bathe in these mineral-rich waters, an elixir for good health and beautiful skin.
They've used this abundant supply of geothermal energy for recreation and building swimming pools, but they may have also found the fountain of youth This particular lagoon has been shown to have significant health benefits. I think they're onto something.
I don't know about the mud on the face. Maybe it's a girl thing.
Whoa, hi.
What's up, Ray?
How are
Look
you?
at this. This is so cool. It's silica, and it's taken from the bottom of this lagoon. And it's the base of all the beauty products here.
I think you looked more beautiful before.
Welcome to the ultimate spa. These people are very resourceful, harnessing the power of gooping mud and creating a real benefit for all to enjoy.
How well do you know your world? Here are a few other clues to help you determine where we are. In the 1800s, resourceful farmers often built their homes from sod as deforestation created a lumber shortage. The thick walls and roofs provided good insulation, and the roots of the living turf held the sod together during the rainy season.
Wool production has been vital to the national economy since settlers introduced sheep in the 9th century. While the modern economy has an increasingly urban focus, there are still twice as many sheep as people.
Of all the volcanic features, none are more fanciful than the black castles of the Dimmu-Borgir lava field. These towering formations date to a volcanic eruption 2,000 years ago.
Springtime is announced by a riot of spectacular lava flowers. Uniquely adapted to the short growing season and rocky soils, these delicate blooms bring unexpected beauty to the otherwise harsh landscape.
How well do you know your world? If you think you know our mystery destination, sign on to olntv.com and see if you're right. You're on the path of discovery with Adventure Crusoe.
Sometimes I think I forget that the earth is constantly changing. The fact that you get up every day and you look around and things seem to be the same. The mountains look the same, the sky looks the same maybe. And by being here, I've realized how untrue that is. You sort of get this sense of a very dynamic nature of how things are changing, how the earth evolves, how the planet is always being architected by the forces of nature.
To know this place, you have to experience its glaciers. They cover more than 3,000 square miles, or nearly 10% of the total area of the island. Glaciation has been a major element shaping the landscape, and they represent an increasingly valuable recreational resource.
Glaciers form when you have more snowfall than what ablates or what melts. And what happens is, as the snow accumulates, it gets deeper and deeper and heavier and heavier. It eventually forms a layer of ice, which is extremely heavy and dense, and it starts moving, moves down and creates these incredible valleys or fjords that we see all around the world. There's a couple of things that are really interesting about glaciers. One is that they are dynamic, they're moving. This glacier is moving almost a foot a day. The other thing that's interesting is the amount of fresh water that's trapped in and running on glaciers. You can hear it behind me here. In fact, a large percentage of the world's fresh water is trapped in the ice in glaciers around the world. There's a tremendous amount of water flowing across the top of a glacier, which is really interesting. It's just melting water flowing down. And on this glacier in particular, you've got something interesting happening. Look at the amount of this black sand that's come from a windstorm recently that blew up here. So you get a wonderful contrast between the white and ice of the glacier with the black of the sand. It's very beautiful.
To really appreciate the beauty and scale of these glaciers requires a more modern mode of transportation. For the locals, snowmobiling, or snow scooting as they call it, is an essential form of travel. And I've got to be honest, it's also a lot of fun. This glacier lies in the enormous caldera, or collapsed crater of an active volcano. You can come prepared for the weather, but you'll never be ready for the experience of flying over the ice on one of the biggest glaciers on the continent. Now that was fun. This is one of the most unusual and beautiful locations we've discovered, where the glacier flows into a landlocked lagoon. As the ice meets the lagoon, icebergs break off and float majestically across the mirrored surface lake.
The water temperature in the lagoon is just slightly above freezing, and the iceberg-clogged channels are a navigational maze. Any miscue here could be fatal. But the beauty of this place draws us forward.
Kayaking in this lagoon is a perfect way to end our journey of exploration. From our tiny boats on the surface, against a backdrop of massive icebergs, ancient glaciers, and towering volcanic peaks, the sheer size and majesty of this place is dramatically evident.
The forces shaping this place and our planet are truly exposed. What a special destination this has been.
Ray, I'm exhausted. We traveled by plane, by boat, super 4x4, by kayak, even by horseback. We've covered nearly 2,000 miles in our quest to see the highlights of this mystery location.
Come with you, Darren. That was quite a trip. What a marathon. But I have to admit, it was all worth it. This place is truly spectacular.
And it's inhabited by some really special people. People who appreciate the natural wonders that surround them.
We visited a lot of places and gave you lots of clues. Did you figure out where we were? We had volcanoes, we had puffins, we had whales, a land of ice. All those things added up, there can only be one place, and that place is Iceland.
Hope you got it right. Well, that's it from here. We're headed to our next mystery location.
Hope to see you there on Adventure Crusoe.
You've been watching Adventure Crusoe, the internet interactive television program that you can play at home. Log on to olntv.com for more in-depth information about this amazing place, and check your listings for when Adventure Crusoe airs next on the Outdoor Life Network. Get to know your world even better as we travel the globe with Adventure Crusoe.